Welcome back to Work Hard RC. Today we have the Hobby Plus Terranaut. This is an 8x8 with all-wheel steering. Let's go ahead, open it up, and get into it. All right, so we first saw this at NERSA a few months ago, and I was really excited to get my hands on one. We picked this up from Fair RC. They're having a sale right now. If you guys want to pick one up, it is at the beginning of December, and I believe the sale's still going on, so you guys can pick one of these up. I do have it linked in our description. If you guys want to pick one up, feel free to use that affiliate link. But here it is, the Terranaut. There's the box, kind of shows you what's inside of it. And on the side, it shows you the features. And in the rear, it shows you the color we got. We got the green. It does come in gray as well. I did see them both in person, and I did like the green, and we went with that option. There is a trailer that is compatible with this. I'm going to see if I can hunt one of those down. I know some people say you can get them in Alibaba and some other places. So I believe Direct RC is supposed to be getting them as well. So if I can get one of those trailers, I will. But let's go ahead and open this up. Now in the box, on the very top, you're going to see your instruction manual. You'll see your charger, your T-wrench, and I believe these are sway bars. We'll go ahead and open those up. I'm not sure if I'm going to install those for the initial test drive. But if I do, I'll let you guys know. I just want to get this guy out on the course and see how it does. Now, our course is set up for regular SCX 24s, TRX4 Ms, so 1/18th scale, 1/24 scale, even the 1/30th scale. So this guy being 1/18th is a little bit larger given all the axles. So I'm not sure how it's going to do on our course. But there's the charger. If it doesn't do well on our course, we will definitely take it out to some different terrain here in town. There are the sway bars. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to install those, but we'll see here in a bit if I get a chance to do that. So let's go ahead and finish pulling it out. That's some nice styrofoam there, keeping it all in place. And there it is inside the box. So it does have the transmitter on top, and it comes nicely wrapped in bubble wrap. Let me take that apart. All right, so this is the FlySky transmitter. And we'll get a little more deeper into this once we get it all set up and the battery charged. Now it does have all-wheel steer, so we'll definitely make sure that we take a look at that controller a little bit closer so we know how to control everything here. In the box, pull this guy out. It looks very cool. All we have left is the Terranaut itself. There it is. Go ahead and take this plastic off. Wow. Initial thoughts is this thing looks pretty beastly. Very nice. All right, so it is ABS plastic here, not Lexan. That's why you get all that detail in it. You can see all the venting, the grill on the sides, high mobility written right there on the side. You do have your working LED lights on the top, and you have spare tires along the side with your warning box there for the motor of your winch. It does come with a working winch, so you guys can see that right there. And again, I'm just giving you a quick overview. We'll get a little bit deeper, a little bit closer here in a minute. But first impressions, this thing's pretty cool. It does have that tow area there in the front if you want to put another hitch there or another winch. Very nice. What's cool about this is you got how many servos we got here? 1, 2, 4 servos for this 8x8. I'm not sure if you guys can see them there, but you do need all those servos to be able to turn. Pretty cool. So should be able to do some cool crab walks. So it looks like it'd be a lot of fun. I believe these shocks are oil filled and adjustable. Looks like they're already pre-adjusted all to the same length, so very nice there. It does have a metal chassis, But overall, first thoughts is it looks really cool. One thing I did notice right when I took it out of the box I don't necessarily like, but I can't do much with it. Maybe if I apply some heat, it does have some marks here, maybe where it came off of a tree. Right there and right there. Not a big deal, but it does kind of stand out. You can actually see it in the video there. Really just, boom, 2 little white dots there. I'm assuming it's on all of them. And I'm also assuming maybe with a little bit of heat that'll go away. But overall, very, very nicely done by Hobby Plus in the sense of how it looks with the functioning lights in the rear. I'm going to go ahead and get the battery charged up. It does come with a LiPo battery, which is going to sit right, I believe, right in the cab. So I'm going to take this apart, get the battery charged up. We're going to sit down, take a closer look at it. All right, so we have the Terranaut on the table looking very, very nice. I'm going to go ahead and break it down basically from the front to the rear and everything between. First of all, I'm going to show you guys, well, let's turn it on first. I'll show you guys the transmitter here. So it is a FlySky transmitter like I mentioned. And as you open up, you see all the different ability to adjust the steering, the throttle, and then on the sides, we're going to have all the goodies as far as being able to turn the lights on and off, change the steering. It does have a two-speed transmission, so you'll be able to adjust that. So all that's going to be available right here with your thumb to be able to maneuver through. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. And then in order to get to the switch and the battery on the Terranaut, you have a little switch right here. You'll see that right there. Push that forward, and you just pull that. And inside, you see the LiPo that does come with it. And you see all of the ESC and receiver nicely tucked under that box. So if you wanted to change or adjust anything as far as the lights, servos, or anything like that, you'd have to unscrew this box and get to it, and then attached to that is the spare tire. So just know that is there. You do have a lot of adjustability as far as the channels and the lights. So it's very nicely tucked for all the wiring that you see coming out of it. That wires into the lights in the front, the rear, and to all of the servos, because this does have 4 servos for the 4 axles. So now that it's on, I think I turned it on, right? Let's see. Nope, now it's on. All right, we're going to close this back up real quick, and I'll show you guys the lights. And I'll show you guys how to switch that on. So I believe on this one, it is going to be channel 4. Let's see if I'm not wrong on that. No, that is the servo. So let me make sure I didn't screw it up there. All right, let's go ahead and leave that loose. Channel 3, my bad there. So channel 3 is going to be the lights, and it does have the ability to toggle through different settings here. So there you have the front lights there, and it also has lights in the rear. Let me show you guys that real quick as well. So you guys have the functioning tail lights, and I believe it has reverse, yes. It does have the reverse lights, and let me see if it has turn signals. I want to say there's a way to toggle through the turn signals as well. There it is. So you can turn those off, or you can have your emergency lights on there, and I'll show you how the front of that looks. So that's the rear. Let's go ahead and look at the front again. Take a look at those lights. So first time you push channel 3, get the headlights on. When you don't have the ability to have those turn signals on, you push it again, and then you'll have the ability to have the turn signals on. See that turn signal there and there. Push it again, and then you have, I believe, let me see, them off. And again, you have your fog lights there. I'm not sure if these would be emergency lights. And there you go, emergency lights right there. So very cool. These are LED lights that are kind of just turning off and on the sides, nothing actually spinning inside. So very cool, very nice touch there. I do like that. I don't have a vehicle that has those lights. I have a Traxxas hauler, but I got it used and it didn't have the lights. So this one does have it. Very nicely done there. And again, just looking at that detail, it does have the ability to fold the mirrors. So let's go ahead and unfold those. So you see those unfolded there. And I guess you can see my face right there too. Nice reflection there. So very nicely done there. And these are functioning real spare tires, so should you have a blowout when you guys are out and about, you can always take that wheel off and replace it with any of the wheels that you had a blowout with. So these are bead locks. They are plastic, but they are true bead locks, and they do have foam inside that seems very stiff, which I imagine will be pretty good for this. Isn't the heaviest, it's not the lightest. It is technically a 1/18 scale, so it's bigger compared to like, let's grab a 124 scale. Let's get this guy right here. This is the Bug 24. It's an Enjora build. You see what that looks like there. And then of course we have the nice little SCX 30s here. So kind of give you an idea of the size in comparison to this guy here. So I do want to get the trailer for it. So once we get it, we'll have it on the trailer. Have the trailer hooked up, so it does have the. Let me put this back here. It does have the gooseneck here in the rear that we'll take a look at here in a minute. But very nice wheels there. And as we look at it from the top, you can see just behind the wheels here. Let's turn off these lights real quick. You can see the winch, and that is a functioning winch that's going to be operated from that first channel that I accidentally pushed, which is channel 4. And I'll go back here and show you guys how that works here. As we come along further back, we have the gooseneck here that is, like I said, functional. So if you have a trailer that you can mount to this, let me see if I can show you how that opens up here. But either way, it will go right there. There's a trailer, I believe, I want to say Adam from Cape Crawler said it was WPL. I have to look that up. I want to say you have to buy the entire vehicle to get that. It's about $119, which I wouldn't mind getting that truck anyway. So if I do pick it up, I'll get the trailer, and we'll have it hitched on there and haul some of our vehicles with it. Another cool part here is you can see part of the aluminum chassis. It's kind of got that black and silver cut here, so very nice accents there. It's got the red shocks. These are the big bore oil-filled shocks, and you can see them peeking through. Now you can see, well, maybe you can see here in the video, it does have adjustability, so you can adjust the shocks on each of the towers. So that's a very cool option you have there. As we come into the rear, like you guys saw earlier, you have your tail lights that do function, reverse lights that do function. And now that we're here, we see this winch. Let's go ahead and test that out. So when I first pushed it, and this is again channel 4. Oop, turn the lights off. We have it, if you push it, it'll, so right now it's retracting. If I push it again, it'll extend out. And then I want to stop, I just push it, so it stops. And if I want to retract, I push it again, it'll retract. It is pretty quick, so just be careful that you guys know what setting it's at. So now that it's been pulled in, I push it again, it should come out. Stop it by pushing it, and then we push it again, and brings it back in. So very cool add-on there with that winch, and that's just another servo that it has in here, along with all the other servos. So let's go ahead and turn it over, and you guys can see all those servos I've been talking about. So you guys see that it does have portal axles. You have all your steering links, your servos on every single axle there. Very nice. It does have that big block 280 motor. You guys can kind of see right behind that drivetrain there, right behind those links. And you get another look at that aluminum. It's almost like a black brushed aluminum, so very nice detail. You do get a peek at that as you drive along, and I'm trying to see if you guys can see that brushed black finish. Very nice detail there on that chassis. You don't normally see that too much where they actually brushed the chassis. Very cool. I do like that and appreciate that. You do see the HB logo right. I'm not sure if you guys can see. I'm going to have to grab another light. Let me grab this light over here. Right there. Very nice. And you see the shocks. And you can see how much dampening they have. Not too soft, just decently stiff. I mean, just pushing on it, putting some good pressure. That's going to mean for some good crawling experience for this bigger, heavier vehicle. Now, for the fun part, it does have all-wheel steer. So obviously you can be able to turn the front wheels with this control here. So that's a given. Now turn the rear. You're going to use this channel. Looks like it's channel 5 right there. And then you're going to push it on either side. Now, one thing I did find that was kind of annoying is that when I turn it to the right, it beeps. So I'm not sure if that's something that I can turn off, but I'll definitely look into that. Otherwise, when I turn left on both of them, you just hear the sound of the servos. But when I turn the other side, you hear that beeping. Again, that could get kind of annoying when you're out and about, but no problem. Again, if I can turn that off and I figure it out, I'll show you guys. So this right now it does have, or it is in low gear. So that's going to be operated by the channel 6. So you do have the low gear, neutral, then you have high gear, and you can hear that servo kicking in there. So we'll keep it in low gear. I don't want to run it off the table. We'll test out high gear once we get out and about. But let's just test the crawl ability with this brushed motor. Not too bad there. See how we can make those really tight turns. I don't have too much room on the table here, but kind of give you an idea. I think I ran over one of my guys over there. Yeah, he fell over. Actually, he might sit perfectly inside of that. We'll have to see how that goes. Let's keep him on the side here. But you can turn very nice. And one thing I just noticed when I was reversing, it does have like a, let me show you that. It doesn't have it now. Maybe when I, it looks like the rear taillights were flickering. Maybe. Looks like when I steer, right there, yeah. So very nice there. And you can also do that cool crab walk, which I'm sure my daughters are going to love. So I got to get used to this steering. Very cool. Again, we're going to see how this does on our course. It may do very bad because it's so big, or it may do really well. We'll see. Bring it back into position, kind of go that diagonal way there. Very nice. And again, this cab, when it opens up, switch it back around, you guys can see that it does have an interior, and you can access the interior here. I don't normally put drivers in my vehicles. I would like to. I just haven't found some scale drivers. I did find these at a store near Addicted RC in, where's that? The Escondido, California, near San Diego. I went to their store, and next to them they had a hobby type store that sells like vintage, and I say vintage because these came out when I was a kid in the 80s, and these are pretty scale to what I build, and so I thought it might fit in one of my vehicles, and I think he might be a good driver for this one right here. So looks like he'll fit, and he might be a cool driver to add in there. So you might see him driving this around. But pretty cool. I think we covered pretty much everything as far as receiver, transmitter, how it functions. And again, I know I keep saying it, but I do really think that brushed aluminum chassis is really cool. Really good for the durability of this vehicle. No play in it at all. But let's go ahead and take this guy out on our course, see how it does, and if it's not meant for our course, then we'll take it out to some different terrain. So let's go ahead and take it out. All right, we have the Terranaut on our course. We're going to see how it does. I'm not sure what it's going to do. It might just conquer everything, or it may get stuck. We'll see. We have our FMS Tacoma out here. We're going to test out the winch with that guy right there at the end of the video. But let's go ahead and see what this thing can do. Let's turn on the lights. Not that we can see them in the daytime, but let's see what we can do here. I don't really have too much experience using all-wheel drive, or sorry, all-wheel steer. We're gonna work on that vocabulary there. Kind of a tongue twister. Let's go ahead and take this up here. Make it. Already my shadow.
This is in the low gear. Here's where we might get stuck. Let's see how it goes. Guess that's gonna make it. Did not get stuck. Now this incline here is fairly steep. Up and over. This turn's a little bit difficult sometimes, but let's see if we can do this with all of our axle steering here. Looks like we're going to clear our first try. Now coming down the stairs, probably not going to have no luck there, but we'll just try it for the sake of having some fun here. Oh, we got caught up here, I'm thinking. Alright. Come on. Nope. Six don't flip this for the first time now. Oh, no, I lost all the wheels. Maybe. We save it. I don't think so. So staircase, not doable. As can be expected, but it does clear the bridge there. So we did do the height clearance there for the Terranaut. I do like the ability to get that really sharp turn right here. Very cool. Almost a little too sharp. Stuck on her right here. My bad. Push this, I got stuck right there, making that turn a little bit too sharp. Let's go this way before going to the other side of the course. Go some of these rocks here. Handles it with ease. No problems there. Crab walk there, going all the way around these rocks here. Then we'll just steer with the rear, which is probably a good idea. No problems here. We might get a little bit rocky. Let's see if we can make it without tipping. This is good. There's a little bit of steer there. Once I get used to this 4-wheel steer, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Alright. Assuming we're going to do well here. Let's see if we don't lose it. I know the weight in the front should serve well for this. And having all that grip should be a problem for the Terranaut. So if I can make this turn on that bridge, that'd be pretty cool. Start that turn now. Adjustment there. See if we can make this bridge. Hang up on that there. This will be a big fall for this heavy guy. See if we don't lose him here. Straighten out. If we can make it. Turn those wheels in. Alright. Made it. Some big beast coming off that bridge there. Let's see if we can make it all the way down. Again, that brush motor does a good job with the slow crawl. Nice. Surprisingly, or not surprisingly, it's doing very well on the horse. It hasn't got hung up. This portal actually doing some work. I don't think we have the clearance for this, but let's just give it a try. Cool. Not lose it right at the end. I think that was enough of a test, but it's just a lot of fun, so go ahead and stop this right now before this video turns into an hour. But very, very cool from Hobby Plus. If you guys want one of these, I will have it linked in my description. You guys can pick it up from Fair RC. Now this did ship overseas, but sometimes they do have them in stock in the US, either in Tallahassee or in, I believe in Ontario, but either way, you pick it up from Fair RC. Check it out in the description. I do thank everybody for watching. Please remember to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I hope to get that trailer soon and do another video. But this guy is awesome. I'll be using a lot of other videos to come. Very nicely done by Hobby Plus. We'll see you guys later. And we're back. Nope, actually we didn't do the test of the winch, so let's go ahead and take this over there. We'll just go ahead and drive him, and we'll grab our Tacoma, who's going to have some issues and be stuck, and we'll go ahead and rescue him with our winch. Still remember to subscribe there, guys. I do appreciate everybody. We are running a giveaway on our Instagram, so if you guys don't follow us on Instagram, go check us out there and check out what the giveaway is. We're doing a Nacho chassis Unimoli body for the giveaway. Let's see if we can pump him all the way up at the top without any issue. And then we're going to go send our Tacoma over there. Oh, it's making it. Alright, so we have him set. Let's grab our Tacoma over here. We're going to get him set up for disaster, and then we're going to get him set up for success and be saved by the Terranaut. Let's go ahead and start him like right here. Not sure how far down this winch goes. Let me see, I'm going to just set it. Alright, we got the winch. So this is channel 4. We're going to pull this out here. Whatever gears we have, see if we can reach the Tacoma. He needs to be saved. Oh, is that as far as it goes? What happened here? Oh, so we have an issue here. We get bind. That's odd. Winch stopped working. Let's see if we have to reset something here. Maybe we're low on battery. Let's try this. Let's turn this guy off here. Turn it back on. Might have to come out and save the Terranaut. All right, so unfortunately the Tacoma is not going to be saved as we lost our servo for the winch. I went ahead and went back inside and checked it out. I had to take some things apart to get to the servo to test it. It did smell burnt. I didn't overstress or anything, so I pushed the button, it was coming out, and then it gave out. So I'm not sure what happened there, but it's a small servo, not very expensive. I'll try to get one here soon. But now that I had it open and had a little bit of experience with it, you can see I unplugged the servo from channel 4 from the receiver there. I don't know if you guys can see in there. All I had to do was remove these 2 screws here to get this plate off. There's 1 screw here that I already have off, so you can see the servo. Now what's kind of I guess annoying is that in order to get this back plugged in here, you kind of got to weave it through the bottom. But for me to test and make sure it was burned out, I had to take off 2 screws here on the side and on the other side, and then these 2 screws here. This plate came up, and then I was able to unscrew the mount for the servo, and in fact check that it was burnt. So just know that I will be coming back to do a rescue of the Tacoma, but right now, since that servo is burned out, I'll order another one. Everything else is still functioning fine. I had to rewind the cable here because given that was out, I had to do it manually. So now that that's all in there, I'll get a new servo, we'll install it. I may as well just do an install video on that as well, and then go from there. So that's the only issue I had with it, was that servo here for the winch did not work for me. I only got to it maybe, I think how many times in the video I did like into the test, so it's probably maybe a total of 6 times that I tested it, and then when it counted, sorry Tacoma, next time we'll rescue you. Anyways, hope you guys liked watching this. Unfortunately the winch gave out, but we will be replacing it. Please remember to subscribe. Hope you guys like this video. We'll do a lot more like this. We'll talk to you guys next time.